Our story begins in the bustling city of Veridia, a place renowned for its towering corporate buildings and its relentless pursuit of progress. Here, every child was groomed for a path of stability and prestige, typically in finance, technology, or medicine. All these fields promised a secure future and societal recognition, the twin pillars of various society. Elias, a bright-eyed young man with a quiet soul, was no exception. His family, respected bankers and engineers, had meticulously charted his future. A degree in economics, followed by a coveted position at the city's largest investment firm. From a young age, Elias tried to embrace this destiny. He excelled in his studies, memorizing market trends and economic theories. Yet, in the quiet corners of his mind, a different kind of yearning stirred. He found himself drawn to the dusty, forgotten antique shops on the city's outskirts. He'd spend hours poring over old furniture and intricately carved clockwork, fascinated by the stories etched into worn wood and the secret mechanisms hidden beneath layers of dust. He'd sketch the delicate filigree and tiny gears, his fingers itching to create, not to calculate. His family, seeing his distraction, gently steered him back to his books. Art is a hobby, Elias, his father would say, a pleasant diversion. But a career must provide security. Elias nodded, stifling the quiet voice inside him. He graduated with honors, landed the prestigious job, and moved into a sleek, minimalist apartment overlooking the city. For 5 years, Elias lived the life he was told was ideal. He worked long hours, attended social events, schmoozed with influential clients, and earned a substantial income. But the hum of the city felt like a constant drone, and the gleaming surfaces of his life felt cold and sterile. He watched colleagues driven by ambition, always striving for the next promotion, the next acquisition, never truly seeming content. Elias felt a growing hollowness, a sense that he was a beautifully crafted clock, but without any hands to tell the time of his own life. One rainy afternoon, seeking refuge from a particularly draining day, Elias found himself back in one of those old antique shops. He noticed a small, beautifully carved wooden compass, its brass casing tarnished, but its needle still true. It wasn't designed for navigation in the physical sense, but for intricate clockwork mechanisms. As he held it, a deep longing surfaced, a longing for something real, something he could create with his own hands. That night, a quiet rebellion began. Elias started visiting woodworking studios, taking evening classes and learning the tactile joy of wood grain, the smell of sawdust and the satisfaction of a perfectly carved joint. He started small, crafting intricate boxes, then moving to small sculptures. His apartment, once sterile, began to fill with the warmth of wood and the scent of linseed oil. He worked his demanding job by day, but his true life began after sundown. The conflict, however, was inevitable. His family discovered his hobby and initially were concerned. Then came disappointment. "You're throwing away everything we worked for," his mother wept. His father spoke of stability, of reputation. His friends couldn't comprehend why he'd trade a corner office for a dusty workshop. The pressure was immense. Elias wavered, feeling the weight of their expectations, the fear of disappointing them. Then came the turning point. A local artisan fair was announced and encouraged by his woodworking mentor. Elias decided to display his pieces. He worked tirelessly, pouring his soul into each creation. On the day of the fair, dressed in simple work clothes, he stood beside his small stall, feeling a nervous excitement he'd never experienced in a boardroom. Initially, he was ignored. People bustled past, drawn to flashier displays. Elias felt a familiar pang of self-doubt. But then, an elderly woman paused, her eyes lingering on a small, intricately carved wooden bird. "This," she said, her voice soft but firm, "has a soul. You put your heart into this, didn't you, young man?" That simple validation was a revelation. It wasn't about the sale, but about the connection, the recognition of his authentic self. More people started to stop, drawn by the quiet beauty of his work. He didn't sell many pieces that day, but he felt a sense of fulfillment he'd never known. The next morning, Elias made a decision that sent shockwaves through his family and social circle. He resigned from his high-paying job. He moved out of his sleek apartment, trading it for a small, sunlit workshop with an attached living space, its walls already marked with the ghost of previous creations. The journey was not easy. There were lean months, moments of doubt, times when he questioned if he'd made the right choice. He learned to manage finances, market his work, and persevere through creative blocks. His family kept their distance for a while, their disappointment a palpable silence. Slowly, organically, his reputation grew. People sought him out not just for his skill, but for the unique stories his pieces seemed to tell. He carved custom furniture, restored forgotten treasures, and even designed intricate wooden components for a local clockmaker. His hands, once destined for ledgers, were now covered in sawdust and the honest marks of labor. Years passed. Elias was no longer the quiet young man hiding his passion. He was the artisan of Veridia, known for his integrity, his craftsmanship, and the quiet joy he radiated. His workshop, once an act of rebellion, became a haven for creativity. One day, his father, now older and perhaps a little wearier, visited the workshop unannounced. He looked around at the tools, the unfinished pieces, the sawdust-covered floor. He picked up a small, beautifully restored music box. Elias had been working on its melody, though faint, filled the room. "Elias," his father said, his voice husky, "I never understood. I wanted you to have stability, respect." Elias smiled, a genuine, profound smile. "I have respect, Papa, not from a title, but from my hands. And stability? It's not just in a bank account. It's in knowing who you are and creating a life that truly nourishes your soul." His father looked at him, then at the music box, and finally a slow, understanding nod spread across his face. "You found your own compass, didn't you, son?" And so the story of Elias, the artisan of Veridia, became a local legend, a reminder that following one's passion, though often challenging, can lead to a richer, more authentic life. It's a testament to the power of pursuing one's dreams, however unconventional they may seem, and the importance of staying true to oneself, even in the face of societal pressures and familial expectations. Elias's journey encourages us all to listen to the quiet voice within, to nurture our passions, and to recognize that true success is not measured by external standards, but by the depth and sincerity of one's personal fulfillment.